finish school and come and work for someone. Even in school, the girl who used to fix my nails in school was in level 400, just like me. When I was in school, as at level 200, I was already working with a digital marketing company. You know, those remote jobs, you write and script for YouTube, all of that. I had a roommate who was selling clothes. I had another one that was cooking. I had another one that was... everyone was doing something.
For themselves.
Aside from the law and then the nursing and the education. And
what they call the calling jobs,
Now, if we already in school are having the mindset to start our own businesses, and then we are seeing all these international companies, in quotes, who are supposed to actually have more money, you know, in terms of capital. Backing, I think that is going to cause some form of panic. Because you're looking at yourself as a young person. How much are you even paid on a regular? How much do you earn? This is for a very regular person in Ghana without the support of maybe wealthy parents or whatever. How much do you earn? Now, with the little that you have, if you say you are going to start a business, and at least you are seeing the system thriving for certain people, there's a certain level of comfort and relaxation. You know that, oh, we are actually going to work this thing out. But last year, there was this funny meme that said, by December, we should have all left. The last person should turn the light off so that we know that there is no one in Ghana. People want to leave the country. And it's not because they don't have brilliant ideas. It's not because they don't have bright ideas. There is a certain panic in the system. Glovo is gone. Société, Générale is also leaving. If I want to start a business at this point in time in my life, I'm not old. I might say, oh, I have the advantage of time. But we are looking at companies that have been here for years, and the fact that they are folding doesn't mean that I have to anticipate that at a certain point, my business will not work. And this is there's a bigger concern because these companies even have more power, could have had more say in staying. And I'm upcoming. What is my leverage? What is my advantage? What exactly do I have to offer a market that already looks like it's dying? I think that it does not spell good news at all for young people. We don't really care about degrees. That's for a fact. We, this generation, about whether or not you are... Maybe if you do engineering and you have all those big stuff, good for you. Great. But for especially now, when you look at the educational system, humanities, the courses that have to do with humanities, you go and they tell you, when you finish school, you can't do anything. Where anything means what? So already your education system is failing you. You are now sitting down thinking and weighing your options. Okay, so should I start this? Should I ensure in A, B, C, D way that my life is not brought to a distraction? And then you turn to business, entrepreneurship and all of that. And you are falling. You are seeing big people actually fall. It's not as if you even have entrepreneurship skills. You are going to start this thing with basically just what you think you know and not what exactly works in the system. So when I heard this news, because I have had certain thoughts about certain things, I said, well, is it feasible to start stuff like this in Ghana? And then you complain of brain drain and you complain that we are living with our ideas. We're living with our ideas because even the bigger ones are not able to stay with something that has been sustainable for a long time. So as a young person, it's not a good look for me at all here in Ghana. As a young person, when I look at all the factors, the fact that even if I decide to start a business today, it's not because I have the expertise or the knowledge. I'm just starting from where I am. And then with time, you build. And it's not as if even... Exactly. It's not as if trying to even get that knowledge is going to be on a silver platter. You go for one seminar, you're paying like 500, 600. That's someone's capital. Some people start with just 200 cedis. Some just start with a few ingredients, start cooking and all of that. But with time, they would want to invest in their craft and ensure that, you know, it's accelerating at a certain level. So if you are making that investment and there's no guarantee that this is going to thrive, what is your next option? Leave the country. Go somewhere else. With the little you have, something will work out over there for you. And then we are left with a country that makes everyone else. So it's almost as if right now, those of us here just don't have the option to leave. That's why we are here. It's not it's not as if you just don't have the option, because if you had the option today, you'd go. It's not a good look. Businesses, when you go to these countries that seemingly have great economies, you see that a lot of it comes from the businesses, how the businesses are able to stand.
Yeah.
There are countries that are not necessarily being led by their political leaders. They are being run by companies.
Yeah.
Everything, they are being run by companies. Certain companies know there's no way this government will do A, B, C because I do E, Y, Z. I do this, I do that.
Yeah.
Do we have those kind of systems here in Ghana? Usually, if you go and you take a good look at stuff like that, then they have political underlings, a company that belongs to a political party and all of that. But me, as a person who has this great idea, who has this bright idea to start something, funny enough, I might have so great an idea that I might be in competition with a political figure. How does that also work? You're not even looking at that yet.
Yeah.
You are starting from somewhere. There is no guarantee that you'd... And then big people are leaving the country. So if Société Générale is leaving, and let's say I even had a brilliant idea for the finance sector or something, where do I go to now? How do I start? Right now, even if you tell me, I'm having an entrepreneurship course, I am training people, blah, blah, blah. Someone will sit there and say, even if I pay to go for this course, what am I going to get in the end? With what I am getting, where am I implementing what I'm getting?
Where do you start from? How do you scale up?
In this same economy, in the environment, in a system where nothing is really working, is it wise? So for now, these conversations of companies leaving, it's a good one. But I think we should also be looking at how it's going to be affecting the youth, because we are the future of the country.
Yeah.
If we are looking at all of these things and then we are already getting the mind that nothing works, nothing is going to work, nothing is going to thrive and survive, that's why you have all these food soldiers and all of that whenever it's coming to election. Because if something was going to work for them, and see, people are trying. There is this conversation, we are not trying hard enough, people are trying and it's not working. And so they are beginning to affiliate with political parties, thinking that
Into the political economy.
Exactly. It's going to do something for them. I one time was told by someone, you know what, even if you start so and so business, maybe you should be affiliated to so and so political party, because that's the only way you can be assured that your business is going to be thriving for some time. Yeah. So it's
that's your thoughts on this?
Yeah. As a young person, no, this does not.
It's scary for you.
I wouldn't say it's
lets you panic.
Scary.
Lets you panic.
Yeah.
Okay. Cause for worry.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
IB.
Okay, so
then I open the lines.
Yeah,
Quick.
Francis. As a nation, we got it wrong from day one, especially after Nkrumah. Have you heard of Ford? Ford is one of the pioneering companies in the U.S.
Yes.
At the point, and Ford, of course, is a person. It's a person's name on the brand. The government then had to sit those business moguls down, and they started the pathway for the development of America.
Yeah.
So that is it. That's where government works in the interest of the country. And government, in essence, just put in place the mechanisms, the system, and he allowed these business moguls to run the way they were running. That's how come Donald Trump will come and say that I'm placing some extra taxes on steel imported from China. Right?
And America will back him.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because from day one, they knew that the Ford and then the what's the name? The General Motors and then this electrical company, General Electric.
General Electric, yeah, GE.
GE. Those were the companies, the brands that built the country. So let's do everything to protect them. So protectionists, as they say, started way back. It's not actually a bad thing.
You even cascaded to the last recession that they had.
Exactly.
The decision was, okay, the banks have got in trouble, but we preserve all of them.
That's it.
Move the cream at the top, put new management in, let it work. It must not fail.
That's it.
Protect.
That's it.
Now, reflect that to Ghana.
Come to Ghana.
And we had a conversation this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Chani put it clear.
Yeah.
When crisis came, the decision was collapse it.
Yeah. Break it down.
Collapsed it.
Yeah.
Full circle now, we are in trouble. Because the cleanup has benefited the banks that are not indigenous.
Exactly. Because they were not
so
affected.
they have already a good corporate governance structure.
Yeah.
They are getting backing from their host country, or should I say where their companies are coming from. They can afford to pack up and go.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you are here, you have vested interest.
Yeah.
Failure means a lot for you here.
Yes.
So if tomorrow, in the very hypothetical case, and I'm sorry if I'm...
No, that's okay.
In the very hypothetical case that all the banks say today, okay, look, the economy is not working. It will take 5-10 years for things to get to normalcy. So we're packing up, we're leaving.
Yeah.
Who will hold the banking sector down for Ghana?
We have nobody.
Who would? And you see, that's the thing. Like, we must get to that point in governance where when we sit to take decisions, we say, okay, the easy road is cancel.
And the easy road is because we have politicized everything.
Everything.
Since I have just 8 years, I'm not looking 15 or 20 years. I'm not even though I know what will work. I'm looking at what we say my regime was better than the other.
Much as you get the initial high of good decision.
Yeah.
The long road will vindicate you.
Yeah.
Now that is leadership. Leadership is not the snap of the hand of an easy decision. It's about taking the hard decision and say, look, I am willing to die on this hill because I know that what I've done in the long term we all benefit from going forward. Because look, it is a very scary thought.
Yeah.
The banking sector already has been heavy in investment for people who are into services.
Yeah.
The base of the Ghanaian economy is agrarian.
Yeah.
How many banks have invested in agriculture in Ghana? How many?
We are in Ghana and we still have a problem of food shortage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Food shortage in Ghana.
The basics of life, food, clothing, shelter. How many of our financial investments have gone into these three facets?
If you are even in the agri sector and you go for a loan for your company, do you know how much interest you pay?
Yeah, because there's risk. The risk there is very high.
Exactly.
So
and
we're talking about non-performing loans.
And who de-risk an economy? That's
it's
the job
system.
of the government.
It's a job of the government.
So if we have those problems, it means that the people we are paying to think, work, take hard decisions, that puts the citizen in that mood of, Charlie, there's job happening at the top.
Yeah.
That decision helps me have a fair shot at life as an entrepreneur, as a public service worker, as a student, as somebody who wants to make a good meaning of their life. They see a direction. If they don't see it, we have put ourselves on a perpetual path to failure. Failure with no escape route. Because you see, if you have, and look, I was telling you guys off air about this. I have friends who've been in this country who have told them so they are not going to make it anywhere. They'll be here. They've invested. All these things I'm talking about, they've been here. In the last 1 month, more than half of them have exited. They've left. And if you ask them, Charlie, where are you going? I'll say, look, for the next 5 to 10 years, I am going to find my square root and put my money elsewhere. When I'm certain that I will come back to what is great and what is plausible, I'll return. In the meantime, all the best. And a lot of people are doing this.
Many.
Every month, you are seeing people walk to banks, take their statements, they are applying for visas. Now, if you have the productive core of a country rushing to the door of exiting, who's going to stay to build the country?
Good question.
Who's going to stay to build the country? And it makes you think. So those who stay to build, what are they building towards? What is the guarantee for them?
And who are they building for? The certain answer to that question is they are building for themselves. See, in the past, a few months ago, you know what government did? Government had liquidity challenges. Government didn't have money. In fact, it was difficult. So government had to fall on the mining companies to pay their taxes ahead of time. So like the tax you pay next year, pay it now because government needed money. It didn't end there. Government had to go to the telecommunications companies and ask them to pay their taxes ahead of time because government needed money. If these companies, these mining companies, by the way, none of them is Ghanaian owned. None of them. They could have called the bluff of government. Government could have done nothing. Because you are asking me to pay my taxes for next year. Now, we are not in next year.
Yes.
So I'll wait.
Revenue has not been generated yet for next year for you
but
to
because government hit the snack relative to revenue mobilization, government had to fall on the mining companies to pay their taxes ahead of time.
Now, that point you've made makes you want to think about if that's where government is now. Can you imagine what the average Joe is going through?
Oh, yeah.
That entrepreneur who's buying stuff, who's, okay, you let me even be very specific. Those who are in the commerce space, who are importing, they gather money course, you're going to buy in Forex. They gather money, they go buy, they made their trip. By the time they come back, right, they have to rethink how they're going to sell it.
Yes.
Or the cities.
Not just for recouping what they have invested in, but how much they will need to go back and reinvest.
Yes.
Now, if you have a country where your currency is so unstable and so weak, nothing works. Nothing works. Like you can't plan, you can't take a plunge. Like nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Look, family budgets are affected. Every day, every week, people are having to think, rethink, overthink, just to make sense of how they go through even a week.
Francis.
No. Like seriously,
Look,
I know many people who are listening this morning who say, Francis, you are speaking my truth, and it's serious. Look, I see people in traffic these days, and you can tell that they are not behind the steering wheel. You can tell, like they are there. You see that the light goes green, and for like 5 seconds, the car is not moving. You check, the guy's mind is somewhere. But drivers, private, like everybody.
Francis.
Everybody's on overdrive right now. Like honestly.
If we were to practicalize what you're saying about the depreciation of the city, you know that this week port charges went up.
Yes.
Port charges went up because everything is benchmarked against the dollar. The dollar has been beating your city woto. It's gone past 14. It's actually 14.5.
Look, yesterday, I saw 5 people at the airport who had to haggle, negotiate, even to the point of fighting with customs officials because they are being made to pay tax on things they've brought in, personal effects for their family. They say, no, these things are taxable, you are actually going to sell it. And the monies that you are being made to pay on the spot, monies you have not budgeted for. Look, everywhere you turn, you get a rush of cold. Like it's serious. Now, if I'm feeling this way, and I'm asking myself, is there Oga Kwata Kwata at the top feeling the way I'm feeling?
No. The average Joe is equally feeling worse than you are feeling, right? But the guys at the top, you see, we operating a structure that insulates them. You know that for a fact. We have insulated leaders from the pain that we go through because they are leaders. Yeah, the thinking behind that is that they are supposed to have their peace of mind, the serene environment to be productive, right?
But if we are not in that serene, how can they be in serene?
Yeah, they are supposed to get that peace of mind to work hard to ensure that you equally have the best shot at life.
The way I've gone, I can't even pick up.
Yeah, we'll pick up briefly, but the point I'm making is that, see, we are driving at a system that ought to make its own millionaires and billionaires. Unfortunately, we have a system that makes seasonal rich people. Over the weekend, Wodimaya got the biggest roast of his life. What did he do? He went to speak to McDan and then captioned it. Wodimaya, for those of you who don't know, is, I think, Ghana's biggest influencer.
And YouTuber.
YouTuber. Went to speak to
10 years ago, that wasn't a job. It's a job today.
It's a job today. He had gone to China to do a course, and then he just stumbled upon this, and it's become his profession. And of course, he's making life out of it. Now, he decided to post it and caption it as Ghana's millionaire or billionaire opens the biggest salt factory in Africa, and that's the Songo Salt Project. Because of the conversation we, especially on this platform, have been having about the concerns of the indigenes and how it's not been addressed, how they got the community entry technique wrong. In fact, if you read about 1,000 comments, 5 positive, all the rest negative. And they are coming at the one who did the interview, not the subject. No, not the individual. And that's how pent up people are. That's how people have bottled up their emotions and they are looking for the avenue to vent. It should tell you something about how our system makes people rich. If it had been national interest first, if Nigeria is in trouble today, trust us, Tinubu can go to Dangote and Dangote will solve Nigeria's problem.
Of course.
Because Dangote was not politically made. He was nationally made.
And even for him, I mean, never mind everything. When they decide to save a country, they're also preserving their business.
Oh, yes.
Their interest.
Oh, yes.
In their country. Do we have same here?
See.
Are we busily destroying our own
That's
business?
what I was even thinking about.
Or
the
we
fact
are
that
busily
in spite
shifting
of everything.
who needs to have money and who doesn't have to.
As we speak, Dangote is in Ghana growing sugarcane.
Yo, make it make sense.
And he will manufacture the sugar and sell it to us.
Yes.
Right. Legitimate business is doing.
When 10 years ago or 9 years ago,
Yeah.
we decided as a country that we needed a sugar factory.
Yeah.
What's become of it?
Oh, yeah.
I think that you can, it looks as though you can, in spite of everything, create your wealth, but there is not enough protection for your wealth. And so when you get to a point where you are thinking, things are looking shady,
They come for you.
But you see, we must come to that decision. Look, I think today we will not be too
No.
time.
Yeah.
But point is this. I think 3 things must happen. One, the political elite must come to that conclusion that this constant haranguing, kneecapping, constant, and it's deliberate. Now I am sold. You can't tell me it's not. It is. This constant kneecapping, destroying your fellow brother's business because he's on the other side of the aisle.
Yeah.
It is illogical. It makes no sense. No political class around the world is able to survive on that system. It
got
is
to a
reckless,
time,
it is
even
useless, it has no value.
Content creators were almost made to pay taxes because
yes, of
checking
course.
all of their
And
followers.
and it's across the aisle.
Yeah.
This thing of seasonal wealth, seasonal prosperity, it makes no sense. We can all live and let live.
Exactly.
That's it. Look, if your party on the other side, and look, and the sad parties, when they are done and they are doing their, hey, you're right, hey, they meet behind the door and broker deals.
Yeah.
And then those who are at the lower ends, who don't see business, who don't see what they see, suffer the most.
Francis, not to cut, but even from within, when those decisions are made to go after businesses or people, there are those with conscience who say no.
Yes, don't do it.
Don't do it. And we know, we are aware. There are those who say don't do it. There are others who say no, the political interest is bigger than your interest, right? If you allow this to thrive, it will become a monster and bite us tomorrow. But that's because of the way we do our politics.
And
you
that
see,
must change.
you can create your own billionaires, but allow the other billionaires who have been in existence to be there.
Let's all live and live.
It shouldn't be difficult.
The pie is
Like I
big
said,
enough for
you
everybody
go to the telecom companies and beg them that pay your taxes ahead of time because government needs money. None of those are Ghanaian owned.
Yeah.
If they had been Ghanaian owned, you just have to go and sit down with them. They can even talk about windfall taxes for them, and they will embrace it because it's about saving the nation.
You look at some of the amounts of money that will go to the institutions as bailout. If businesses here in this country are allowed to work 10 years doing work, look, gathering wealth, we can be able to sort our own problems out. We don't even have to go to anybody and say, give me $3 billion. Do you know how much money leaves the shores of this country every year? Through business hands.
Francis,
do you know?
I didn't know Kofi Amwabeng. I didn't know him. In fact, I'm coming at it briefly. I was not a fan of the way he went about his business when it was unique trust.
Yeah.
But I was very happy when I heard that he had broken into the Liberian market. I was very happy when I heard that he had entered into the Gambian market. I said, oh, what others are doing and coming to our country and saying this is a Nigerian market, we are also doing. I was very excited. Where are we now?
It looks like we don't like to see. It is said a lot of the time.
Our fellow Ghanaians.
It looks like people think that is a cliche. You say it and people are just saying it, but that's what it looks like. And the amount of energy we put in, for instance, shutting down the local banks.
Yeah.
That amount of energy we put in it, it really showed where our heads lie when these things happen. Because, we are not absolving the banks of blame in any way. Some of them really run their books down. However, these were not things that could not be salvaged. The amount of money we spent in collapsing them, that money could have recapitalized them. We would have preserved jobs. It would have helped our economy. Because as of now, our economy, when it comes to the financial sector, especially the banks, where are the local players?
Trouble. They're all in distress.
Ghana Commercial Bank.
All of them are distressed.
ADB. Which other one do you have? Ghana Commercial
Prudential.
Bank, ADB, Prudential. Prudential per the analysts, should have even been shut down if they were looking at, if they were going by the standards, because Prudential's books were even worse off than some of the local banks that were collapsed. So these three, at least, these on top of our head, these are the ones.
I think about 4 or 5.
These are the
Car
ones.
Bank is Ghanaian, right?
Car Bank is Ghanaian, but that's what we won't talk about. Fidelity Bank is Ghanaian as well.
So I mean, these are the ones we can speak of on top of our.
Yeah, and then the domestic, of course, national bank.
Basic too,
The movers and shakers, are they movers and shakers?
They're all distressed.
But we were so happy to bring down these banks, including a newly inaugurated bank, the Heritage Bank, for instance, that the Bank of Ghana governor was there, commending them for their structural organization and all that. And then by a stroke of a pen, the license of the bank was revoked.
Unibank, 30 years in existence.
It was the biggest domestic bank.
But the thing is, if the government had foresight and was really about cleaning the banking sector, and it had no parochial interest in this, we would have seen it in their mode of application. Because you see, look at the number of jobs we lost. People's fortunes turned overnight because of that particular action by government. But hey, as long as we think it serves our interest and not the national interest, we will go ahead with it. Now look at us here. Imagine some of these banks were in existence. Would it not cushion the impact?
Of course.
Now you have scores of employees wondering what their fate is going to be. Because you know that usually with takeovers,
everything is possible.
Is that there will, at a point, they will cut off some people. Even if you think that, you are such an essential worker, and then they will not let go of you. They probably also would want to bring in people they think they can trust. So even if you are the best there, they feel that we have somebody else we believe we can work with and we can trust, and so they'll bring the person in.
Okay.
But it should be a wake-up call to the government that, see, the flowery language, the needless politicking is not what is needed. We need them to get to the ground and work. Like Sankoma said back then, said, I'm paying taxes. I'm working like a bull. I expect the government to work like a bull. The government should put on their thinking caps and work for the country.
Okay.
I think we should play this song. Because you see,
I have a few goals I have to do.
Okay, no, do it. No, quick one. So, what's the name? Of course, we were thinking that we'll clean up the domestic banks, right, and get a robust banking sector.
That's not where we are now.
As far as domestic sector is concerned, we are out. We have given the opportunity to our neighbors. Our neighbors are now the kings in our own country.
Yes.
Hopefully the lesson is learned moving forward. That will never get here.
Unfortunately, we don't learn.
Where we approach a banking sector cleanup from an interest rather than the national one.
That should be our attitude towards this one. All right. I have a quick call I have to make now. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Am I speaking to Arabna?
Yes.
Okay. Arabna, did you enjoy your birthday yesterday?
Yes, please, I did.
You did?
Yes,
Okay. It is never too late to re-sing for you, because for the full year it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Arabna. Happy birthday to you. May God bless you now. 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 May I read the message that comes with this? It says, "You're truly been amazing and my safest place. Happy birthday to you, Irabna. I love you." And that's from Namache to you, Irabna.
Thank you so much.
And just so you know, you're live on Star 103.5 FM, so the whole world can hear you.
Okay.
What are you saying to Nanache before I say my goodbyes to you? I'm sure he's listening.
I want to say God bless him and thanks so much for everything. I appreciate him so much. God bless him.
All right, dear Abner. Have a lovely day. And once again, happy birthday to you.
All right, thank you.
All right. Okay, on that surprise note, that should do it for us this morning here on The Morning Star.